Prime Minister Modi also addressed the third and final session of the G20 Leaders Summit. And I have my colleague Aditya Vadhavan joining me with more details. Aditya, what more can you tell our viewers?
Well, absolutely. There was a detailed discussion during the G20 meeting. Indeed, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met several international leaders at this G20 summit. And indeed, this meeting with the South African president was definitely very, essential, considering the fact that both the countries are active members of BRICS. And, the 3-day-long G20 Leaders Summit began in South Africa. This year's gathering carries special significance as it is the first time the summit is being hosted on the African continent. The theme for the summit was solidarity, equality, and sustainability. Vishali, if you see, South Africa has focused on key priorities during the summit, including strengthening disaster resilience, ensuring debt sustainability for low-income countries, mobilizing finance for a just energy transition, and harnessing critical minerals to promote inclusive and sustainable growth. So, indeed, PM Modi also held discussions on different issues with multiple world leaders here and said that they together reaffirmed their shared commitment to global progress and prosperity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi met with his British counterpart, Keir Starmer, Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, French President Emmanuel Macron, South Korea's President Lee Jae-myung, Brazilian President Luiz, Lula de Silva, and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres on the sidelines of the G20 Leaders Summit hosted by South Africa. Vishali.
Aditya, stay on with me. I'll come back to you. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has participated in the IBSA Leaders Meeting held in Johannesburg, South Africa. The meeting was hosted by the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, and attended by the President of Brazil. Now, His Excellency Inácio Lula de Silva described the meeting as timely. Prime Minister noted that it coincided with the first G20 summit on African soil and marked the culmination of 4 consecutive G20 presidencies by global South countries, out of which the last 3 were by the IBSA members. This, he noted, has resulted in several important initiatives focused on human-centric development, multilateral reform, and sustainable growth. Aditya, back to you on this.
Well, absolutely. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Brazilian President Luiz, Lula de Silva in South Africa, Cyril, President Cyril Ramaphosa had a discussion after the India-Brazil Africa leaders meeting during the G20 summit in Johannesburg. And indeed, definitely, all the 3 countries are active members of BRICS. And during the meeting, it was a roadmap was planned, as to how the 3 countries in the times to come could collaborate in the deeper domains of trade, defense, and technology. And indeed, a greater framework, it will be very instrumental, in completely robust, in completely making the economies of these 3 countries robust. Indeed, we have seen multiple in the previous years also. Both the leaders of the 3 countries have collaborated. The 3 countries have collaborated in various domains of trade, investment, and technology. And indeed, there is a lot of potential for the 3 countries to move ahead. And definitely, in the wake of this global tariff war, the trade was one of the important highlight of this IBSA leaders meeting during the G20 summit in Johannesburg. Vishali.
All right, Aditya, stay on with me. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met his South African counterpart on the sidelines of the G20 Leaders Summit. In an online statement, he shared, and I quote, "Had an excellent meeting with President Cyril Ramaphosa during the G20 summit in Johannesburg. We reviewed the full range of the India-South Africa partnership, especially in boosting linkages of commerce, culture, investment, and diversifying cooperation in technology, skilling, AI, critical minerals, and more." Congratulated Prime Minister Ramaphosa for South Africa's successful G20 presidency. Aditya, that's also a very big development there, PM Modi's comments. What more can you tell us?
Well, absolutely. Indeed, it's a very, very big development, as you mentioned, Vaishali. As far as the AI domain is concerned, it is very essential that, India collaborates with like-minded countries And considering the fact that AI has entered into almost absolutely all the domains, it is essential for India to partner with like-minded countries like South Africa and Brazil, to increase their collaboration as far as the artificial intelligence is concerned, critical minerals are concerned. All these things are very strategic at this juncture in this changing geopolitical global order. It is very essential to forge these collaborations with the other countries, and definitely clearly by looking at the visuals of these from these G20 summits, there was a personal camaraderie between the leaders of these countries. Be it Prime Minister Narendra Modi, be it South African President and the Brazilian President. So indeed, there is a lot to achieve from here, and definitely we could expect some major breakthrough as far as this is concerned. Vaishali.
Aditya, stay on with me. I'll come back to you. Now, viewers, we have new visuals coming in. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Brazilian President Inácio Lula de Silva, and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa had a discussion after the India-Brazil-South Africa Leaders Meeting during the G20 summit in Johannesburg. Aditya, back to you on this development.
Well, definitely, there were talks between the after the IBSA meeting between three countries. They focused upon how they can, work upon the collective roadmap, be it in the domain of critical minerals, be it in trade, be it in artificial intelligence. And definitely, all these partnerships are mutually beneficial for all the countries. Because if we talk about the inclusive global South, it is very essential for the global South countries, to move forward by, enhancing, giving a collaboration with each other, and definitely these collaborations will be instrumental for the entire global South in the times to come. Vaishali.
Stay with me, Aditya. Now, in more breaking news, the mortal remains